Hey everyone, welcome to Monster Weekly. I am Ethan, and I am the guy drawing what we currently have here, an undead, massive orangutan. This process, the thought process of the undead orangutan, was actually not my thought process. I had posted on social media asking folks to give me ideas for the very first video for the Patreon, and an old friend of mine gave me the idea, and I kind of loved it. The gentleman who gave me the idea, his name is Neil, and Neil pretty much got me into drawing when I was really young, when we were in grade school together. So this is also kind of a way, I think, of saying thank you to Neil for keeping me going. And years later, we're still friends. It's pretty cool. Anyway, so yeah, decided to draw this giant beast, and it's been a lot of fun. As you can see, I'm just putting the finishing touches on the sketch, and I'm going to go into some inks here in a second. As you can see, we've got the femur bones where he was probably bitten by some random animal zombie, which then turned him into some crazy critter. Maybe put some teeth marks on the bones here. He's holding a giant femur of some other hapless creature who's now, running around as a zombie monster creature with one leg. Sad stories. Sad, disgusting, and as you can see, bloody stories. We always like a little blood with our monsters, right? Yeah. Maybe some bloody spittle flying forth from the ape as he's bellowing his triumph to the world. Alright, so I'm going to get started here, I'm going to get started with my nib, my inking nib, is a 102 nib, and essentially when I use this, the nib tip, it doesn't break when I apply a little pressure, and it gives me some various line widths, and that helps bring the image to look a bit more three-dimensional. So I'm going to go in here and start working on some of the facial features first. Some people like to go in and do the bigger, darker areas first, as that loosens them up. For me, it's I like to bring out the character a bit more, and that helps me kind of generate the attitude that I want from the image. Right now I'm just kind of working on the eyes. The eyes are definitely the main portion that show you this creature's attitude, and that I think will kind of bring about the rest of the drawing's energy. So while I'm working on this, I just wanted to say thank you to everyone who signed up and joined the Patreon. It's been an interesting little journey to get here, but it's kind of cool. People have been asking me to do these kinds of videos for a while, and I finally decided to get off my butt and do it. And I'm having a lot of fun with it so far. So as you can see with the nib, I'm creating a bunch of different line weights. These are great nibs. You don't have to apply a lot of pressure. That's the nice thing. If you do apply too much, you're going to find out the hard way that that's not the best idea, because the nibs tend to pop and break. So you learn pretty quickly that just a little bit of extra pressure will make a larger line width, with these guys. And you get some really cool effects. And they also are great for just doing smaller details. Like I want this guy's skin to be really taut and looks like it's pulling back from his face a little bit as he's bellowing. Might do some frayed hair, some undead monster hair here. And I'm going to go back to this later and ink in the larger areas to create it so it looks like it's a bit more of a hole on his head. But I like to go in and kind of do the smaller parts first. Again, I feel like I kind of do things backwards from what other people do. I don't know. It's just kind of what I get excited about doing is the smaller stuff. And so I want to have fun with that. And then once the bigger stuff pops up, or once I do the bigger stuff, I don't even know what I meant there, pops up. What does that mean? I have no clue. Anyway, once the larger, darker areas get inked in, it really pops the image, and I can see where I'm going from there. It's a lot of fun. The inks I use, I tend to use a Speedball. Here. Speedball, Super Black, India ink. And I also add a little bit of Rapidograph ink into that canister because sometimes the Speedball ink isn't as black as I would like it to be. And to apply the Speedball ink, I use a number 2 Raphael brush, which has seen better days, but it's been with me for a while. I'm kind of attached to it. With the Speedball brush, I'm going to add some heavier blacks. It really brings out his eyes. Lovely eyes. Lovely, angry, undead, hungry, murderous eyes. There you go.